Hey y'all, I'm Janae and welcome back to Make Room. This series is all about helping you see your home differently and creating spaces that truly reflect how you live. And so to start it off, I think we have to talk about function. Function is the core of every single design project or organizing project that we do. And function is exactly where I want you to start when you're thinking about your home. Function is the first step at Woodson Interiors. Oftentimes we meet with a client about design. They really want to start off with some really cute furniture sets that they found or the perfect layout. But for us, that's not where we start. We want to discuss your habits, your routine, and your lifestyle. Whether we're working on a design project, an organizing one, or a combination of both, we always start with lifestyle questions, and here's some of the ones I want you to consider when you're thinking about your spaces. Ask questions like, how do I naturally flow through my space? And what do I do in each one of my spaces? In my living room, is it important for me to watch TV, or do I not really care about that? In your bedroom, do you use it just for sleeping, or do you like to read in there? Whenever you come into your home, do you like to kick off your shoes? Do you like to drop your keys off in an area? Do you typically have a lot of bags and you need a spot to place them right away? When it comes to items that you have, are you the type of person that likes to show them off and have them on display, or would you rather have them tucked away in closed storage? These are things that I want you to start asking about every single space that you have been thinking about designing, but we have to start with, how do you function in those spaces? What's most important to you there? When you start thinking about your daily habits first and the function there, then we can figure out how design is going to support that. And remember, everything you see online doesn't mean that it has to be added to your space. Every single polished, beautiful picture may not work for you. A great example is a client that we had who didn't want a coffee table in their space. And at first we were thinking, okay, coffee tables are great. I mean, they're perfect for styling, for holding things, your coffee, books, your remote. But in our early assessment with them, we realized that having movie nights was most important for their family. In their living room space, they didn't want a table that we were gonna have to move out of the way every single Friday. And so instead, we added pedestal tables, which were still aesthetically pleasing. They looked great in the space, but they were also lightweight, which meant they could move them around, move them out of the way, and be able to sit down on the floor on their really cozy, lush rug that we did add and enjoy movie nights together. So instead of doing the classic layout that you may see in magazines or on Pinterest boards, we really honored how they live in their space. And that's what I want you to think about for yours. How do you live in your space? And then how can design support that? After you've taken the time to think about how you naturally flow through the space, what your habits are, your daily routines there, next, I want you to start thinking about the pain points that you're already experiencing right now and how they may be related to function. Are there some spots where stuff is just always piling up, and maybe that's an area that we need some more organizing solutions? Are there areas where the layout just feels uncomfortable? You're always running into stuff, or maybe you have things that are blocking natural light and that's just not comfortable for you. Actually, when we think about comfortability, are there any pieces of furniture that you realize, I sit on this all the time, I love this little spot, but this is so uncomfortable and maybe it's time to make an upgrade? Write down those pain points, because those are going to be really helpful when you start thinking a little further into design. These pain points obviously are making your space uncomfortable, and your home should not be that. Your home should be comfortable, and function allows for that. Function adds more ease, function should be intuitive. And so whenever we're working on a design project, here's 4 areas that we're always going to be looking for that are function first. Clear pathways. This is so important, not only from a safety standpoint, but also just how you flow through your space. Is there any areas where things are just a little too close? You're having to shimmy around a corner. You're not able to get from one area to the next. That's a matter of flow and function. Next up, accessible storage. Once you know what you have a lot of and what you don't have, you can figure out, how do I really want to store these items? A great example of this was, we had a client once and we came in just starting off with an organizing project in their kitchen. And once we got rid of a lot of items, we cleared out 6 cabinets. And that was huge for them. They had so much stuff. And that brought us to another discussion where they were like, you know what, something we've always wanted in this space was a snack corner or like a coffee nook. And we were able to do that. Because we cleared out all that space, we were able to add some open shelving because that was important for them to be able to see it, grab it, their kids can know where everything is at. And in doing that, that storage was all based off of how they wanted to function in that space, not just with cooking, but these additional things like we want to be able to grab snacks every afternoon, and in the morning we want to have a really beautiful layout to make our coffee. Third would be proper furniture scale. And this one, it can be a little difficult because I know whenever you go into a home store, the store is so massive. So you see these furniture sets, you see these pieces, and you're thinking, oh, that would look so lovely in my space. But your home is probably not the size of that store. So what I recommend is whether you've been in your home for years or you just moved in, take measurement of your spaces. Pull out your notes app and take measurements of your windows, the size of your room, your counter height. So the next time you go into a space, you're able to actually decide, okay, would this actually fit here? Because that's important. You don't want to have a piece that's too big, too small, too high, because that's uncomfortable and you're not going to be able to live with that every single day. Last would be intentional zones. Once you've taken assessment of your habits and your routines and what's important for what you do in your space, you then can create zones that make sense for those routines and those habits. This could be things like, you know that your kids love to play in the living room and you want to be able to see them. And so in that design process down the line, we have a zone just for them. We have solutions that are just for them. Or maybe it's going back to you love to read in your bedroom, but you never thought about adding a really cool bookshelf in there or some shelving units that are gonna make grabbing your books every evening so important, or lighting so important to read. Those type of things about how you wanna function in your space can then lead to your design decisions down the line. Ultimately, what I'm trying to say is that function equals longevity, whereas pretty is just a moment. Now, yes, we believe that you should have both, and working with us, we guarantee that you will. But if you're doing this for your own space, you have to be thinking about all the functional elements before you can do anything related to design, because you want to be able to live with your space and enjoy your space for years and years to come. All right, that's all for this one. And remember, I created Make Room to really help you start seeing your home differently and building up your confidence to be able to make design decisions. In our next video, we're gonna be talking about how to discover your true design style. So stay tuned because this is just the start of this series. Go ahead, click subscribe, and if you want to keep learning right away, you can also subscribe to our newsletter. That's where we're sharing more of our design process, design tips, storage solutions, and everything that's happening at Woodson Interiors. Until the next one, bye!